How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show everybody how to get a run out. For those of you that follow the channel and watch the episodes, I got a big run in this tailgate when I was painting it the other day. Big run in the clear. It was probably 20 degrees outside. I couldn't get the shop any warmer than 60 degrees. Had to get the stuff painted. When a panel's cold, the clear runs on it, so you really got to be careful. Anyway, it's going to happen. It's going to happen to everyone. This is a pretty bad one, but I'll show you what I'm doing and as I go along. But we're going to cut the run out, and we're going to do a cut and a buff to the rest of the panel. But the first thing you may need is one of these. This is a file nib, a fine file nib. A lot of guys say, hey, take a razor blade and bend it and scrape it on the ground and then cut your run out with the razor blade. A file nib is a little bit more exact way to do it. It has a flat surface, has these little ribs on it right here, and all you got to do is just rub this over the run and it'll cut the run right off of it, and then you just sand it and buff it just like you would any other panel. But a file nib is worth it. It's probably 10 bucks maybe on Amazon. I've had this one for a long time, so I don't remember actually how much I paid for it, but you could probably get a file nib on Amazon for probably $10-15, and it'll save you a lot of trouble later. But we'll get you in here and show you this run. But there's a couple big ones in there, and you can see, let's see here, there it is right there. You can see it right in there. That's a big old run. Goes all the way down this panel. Then there's another one I put in right there. That more than likely will be covered, but we're gonna cut it out anyway. So let me get a light so you can see a little better maybe, and then we'll go from there. Oh, there you go. You can see it right there. See it right there. Goes all the way along there. It's a big old run. And there's another one right up there. Right there. You see it right there. There's that one. This other one is, let's see here. Right there, you see it right in there. Right there. So anyway, we'll get you down here. We'll get you down there and show you what I'm doing. So all I'm gonna do is take this file nib and run it right over the top of this run. Cut this out. Here, grab right there. I'm just gently rolling this over this run to pull it out, or to cut it off. You gotta wait a little bit before you want to start doing this, especially the buff. And there's one time when I was first painting, when I was younger, I was painting a vehicle and I tried to cut it and buff it like a day or so after I painted it, and man, that buffer just ate right through that paint and just rubbed the paint right off the corner I was working on. I was like, oh man. There's one thing you learn when you're painting, is you can't rush paint. You gotta be patient with paint. Gotta be patient with all of it. Because if you try and go too quick, it usually ends up taking you longer. So let this clear set up for a week or so before you try cutting on it. A week may be a little long, but definitely to buff it, you gotta wait at least a week. This paint's been on here a week today, I believe. So. I'm just rubbing my fingers over this to see what's still high. I'm just like doing body work. You just keep on rubbing it in the areas where it's high and cut that clear off. And I'm gonna be close. I'll show you here. You can see where it hit. See where it grabbed. So all we did was just rub that over the top of that. It still probably needs to go just a little bit more, but we got the majority of it out. See it? Just cut that big ridge run out. Keep going here. Yeah, we're pretty close there. I think we probably stopped. All right, we're gonna get this one right up here real quick as well. Right here. See that? Right there. Right here is where we're working. Right there. Same thing. We're just gonna rub this on this run and cut that run off there. I'm gonna kind of balance it on the run. Cut it off like that. You know, when you get a run in something, it's so frustrating because you're like, man, all I had to do was just get this to lay flat and I'd be done with it. Then you get a big old fat run in something, and then you're like, well, now I got 3 hours to cut and buff this and get this run out. Or if you just would have got the shop hot enough or took your time a little, you would have not had to spend the time to cut it out. The other part about this is a white vehicle, so you know, white hides a lot. You don't have to get this perfect. We'll get it close and go from there. I think that's it. There's a little trash in here too. Wet sanding it'll help get some of the trash out of here too. So we'll grab the bucket and we'll start wet sanding and we'll go from there. Alright. Got two different types of sandpaper here. I got a 2000 and a 1200. One thing to think about when you're wet sanding something is any scratch you get in, you're going to have to get back out. So I'm only going to use the 1200 right in here and up here to get the scratches we put in with the file nib out. So, we get started here. You want to use a sanding block for sure. You want a flat surface, at least for when you're trying to get a run out. Now the rest of it, you know, for something like this, it really is not going to matter. But show quality, something, you know, hot rod, something, you know, you're going to want to use something with the hard back. Anyway, let's do this. So we're just going to sand this until the run's out and we can't see it or feel it anymore, and I can still see it in there. You know, one thing about, you know, aftermarket clear is there's one coat of clear on this tailgate. You put one coat of clear on something like this, it's more clear than what they put on from the factory. So you usually got a lot of material to work with. So I'm just going across over the top of that run over and over again until we can't feel or see the run anymore. So that's probably good right there, because it's gone. We'll work on this one up here. We're probably pretty good there too. See it or feel it, so probably okay. Probably okay there too. All right, we're just gonna take this 2000 and do the rest of this panel real quick, get some of the trash out of it. And I don't know, some people do it different ways, but I always try and go long ways. And the reason why I do that is the scratches are less easy to see if you don't get them all the way out. So there's a piece of trash right there, is just trying to get out. So get some of this dirt off this thing. Yeah, there's definitely some trash in this panel, but we'll get it out here real quick. Alright, just gonna get the peel out of it. The other thing, when you are wet sanding something, you gotta remember you're gonna have to buff it. So you don't want to get down in this little in this low spot right here, because it's gonna be tough to get a buffer in there. So just skip that all together. Just go to the edge of it and be done with it. Because then if you try and buff it, unless you got a small detail buffer, which I do, you're not going to be able to get that out. You're going to rub the paint off of it. So we're just going to scratch this up, get the trash out like that. Right there is a little watermark right there or something. Get that stuff out. There we go. All right, well, we're gonna let this sit up on here for another week, and then we'll go ahead and buff it. I'm just a little bit afraid to buff it too early, because it's been cold.